Hey Flosstube, it's me, Lauren, and I'm back for another episode of Curly Q Stitches. I hope you're all doing well. I think it's been about 4 weeks since my last video. Today is May 24th, 2025. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I hope you all are having fun and relaxing and maybe getting some cross stitching. I've been able to a little bit. But yeah, I'm so excited to be here today because I have a finish. It's not fully finished, but it's a finish. And it's the first project that I started that got me back into cross stitch last July. So it took me from July 2024 to now to start, or to finish, I should say. But I am so excited. But before I show you that, I want to say thank you all to everyone who's coming back, and to anyone that's new, hi, welcome. I hope you enjoy today's video. Just cross stitch and silly comments. So let's get started. I'm really excited to show you. Okay. So this was the Artsy Housewife, a study in pink. And I do have the chart in here. I was worried for a second I didn't. So here's the chart. And I did this on 18 count pistachio by Fiber on a Whim. I did all the called for colors except 2 of them. Instead of DMC 666, I used Ladybug by Classic Colorworks. And then some of the gold. I did use some of the gold that's in there. I think it's Autumn. Actually, let me just look it up. I used to know this by memory, but Autumn Spice, yes. Autumn Spice, I used a little bit of it, but for the majority of Autumn Spice, I end up using Bambino by Classic Colorworks, because I like that purplish pink color it gives, along with a little bit of like a peachy color. Are you ready? If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this, so sorry. But if you don't, here we go. Okay? Ta-da! There she is. Look at that. I'm so excited. Zoom in there. So I ended up sticking with the moss for the leaves at the top and the bottom. That was called for. If you saw any of my other videos, you know I kind of struggled with that a little bit because the moss that I had was not what it looked like on the model. Mine had a lot of brown in it, but I stuck with it. There was a moment where I thought about ripping it out and doing new color. I did not. But there it is. Ta-da! There you go. And I'm going to frame it. I'm going to frame it myself. I don't know. I've worked so hard on it. We don't have any cross stitch shops here, so I'd be worried taking it, somewhere else to get it framed. So I'm going to try to frame it myself the first time. And watch it. I mess it up, but there's tutorials. So I'm going to watch a lot and try to frame it. But I am so excited, so happy. It was weird, though, because when it was over, I was a little bit sad. And it was like, why am I sad it's over? But it's like you've spent this long with a project, and now it's gone. And it was just a little sad. But I'm really happy that I got it done. And I can't wait to see what it looks like framed. I will say, so when I was starting when I had like 10 or 15 stitches left, I started like going like on a countdown, like 14 left, 13 left. When I got down to like the last 5, I was like, that's so sad. But it was, I enjoyed it. So, yeah. And I have a new start that I want to show you. I was going to have 2 new starts, but it turned out the fabric I was going to use for one of my new starts was not long enough. It barely was, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so one of the new starts I wanted to start was a market release. It was Ducks in the Orchard by A Gardener's Needle. And everything's spilling out of my bag. Oh well. So there's that. Sorry for the glare. Try to do that. There you go. There we go. So this one, I was going to do it on 18 count. I was going to do it on this really pretty Grace Nuts fabric. It was Earl Grey, 18 count. And I thought that's going to look really pretty. But the 18 count, the design size is 11.5 by 11. So they said cut your fabric 18 by 17. So it leaves 3 inches on the side. Well, the width, so it's 18 wide by 17 tall. So the width on this is 26 inches, which is not an issue, obviously. The height is right at 17. Like, I measured it out, and I am right. I'm not even just like a line over 17. I'm right at 17. So it was at that moment I learned I'm not a brave person. Because my fear was, you know, I'm working on it. I'm putting in all this work only for, you know, to get to the bottom. And, you know, maybe I miscounted wrong. Maybe I didn't start exactly, because I had to start exactly 3 inches. Like, in order to get to 17, I had to be right on the dot at 3. And it was just too much pressure. And I was like, you know, the work that goes into it, if I do it all just to get to the very bottom and lose some of this pretty border or anything, even if in the framing it gets weird looking, it's not worth it. It's not worth putting in that time just to be disappointed in the end, or risking the chance, I should say, because it could be totally fine and I could be golden. Could be a golden duck. No, golden goose is the saying. But you know, so back to the drawing board, and I'm gonna have to find a new fabric. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I won't go down the blue road. I do have enough fabric. It's not like I don't have choices. But I have some neutrals. Maybe I'll pick out a neutral. Like Small Potatoes by Lap and Loops. Was one I thought of. I don't know. I got Tallulah by Seraphim. It's this pretty pink. I love Seraphim fabric. It's so pretty. So I got Tallulah. I don't know, because it has this pink. I don't know if I'm going to like it with the red house. So I don't think I'm going to use it for that. I just got to sit through my fabric, which I do not mind at all. It's just so much fun looking at it. So I didn't get to start that last night. Now, I did, though, start another one that took me, my gosh, I was having the worst luck. I was using my Nurge hoop. I think that's the word for it. I was using that, and the little cap popped off. Then I couldn't get the little hoop back together. Like, the little middle rod got stuck. It was like I was being cursed by all the cross-stitch luck. I'm like, I have no cross-stitch luck anymore. But I finally got to work. I finally got the fabric on it, which I'll explain to you in a minute why that took a minute to do. But this, so I'm excited. This is Birds in Bloom, or Birds and Bloom, I should say, by Counting Puddles. And I got this during the spring mingle that Lindy Stitches did. It was so much fun. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. I did the hands-on design class, the finishing class, she's a really good teacher. I learned a lot. And so I can't wait to try to, actually do it and finish it. I didn't start the cross-stitch pattern, but I will. But she gave like this little it's like bees and flowers, and then you finish it into like this little like square. It's not like a biscornu, but it's just like this little square cushion. And it's super easy. It doesn't look easy, but the way she explained it, super easy. At least, I'm saying this now. When I do it, I'm probably going to mess up. But so I did start this last night. And this was an exclusive at the Spring Mingle. And so, let me get it out here. So, I'm using all the called for colors. It's all DMC. But she used 28 count Agua Fresca by Grace Notes for the fabric. And I'm using 14 count Fairy Mist by Fabric Flare. And this is my first time to use Fabric Flare. And it's a learning curve for me just because it's really stiff. So it was really hard trying to put it on the hoop. But this is what I have. Just a little start. It's not the biggest start, but it's a start nonetheless. But I like this color. And I bought this fabric specifically for this. Because I thought, the little background would go really pretty with it. I didn't know it had sparkles. There's sparkles on this fabric. Luckily, none of them have come off yet. But there is sparkles. And when you do stitch over it, you don't see the sparkles, obviously, anymore. It's not a lot of sparkles. It's just here and there. But, it's just really pretty bluish green with like a little bit of yellow. But I don't know. I will say, one thing I do like about Fabric Flare. So since it's printed fabric, it's only printed on the one side. So this side is not printed at all. Which whenever I get out a new piece of fabric, I spend like 3 minutes looking at each side going, okay, which looks brighter? and trying to convince myself that one side does look more bright than the other. There's probably not a difference. But I do sometimes convince myself of that. So that was easy. I didn't have to go, which side do I want to use? But I hopefully the more I use it, the more relaxed it will get. It's starting to get relaxed already. I'm kind of noticing. So I'm just kind of going to leave it up like this. And hopefully it will get less stiff. But I got, put the DMC in this. This is from Sweet On and Stitch. I just love her stuff. It's so cute. So that's holding like all the DMC floss. I just love it. Okay. So that's my one new start. I would like to start, I just ordered it. So when, in June, when they do all the strawberry stitch-alongs, I think I'm going to do Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs. I've never done a Blackbird chart before, but I'm really excited. I've always actually wanted to do this chart because Strawberry Fields is my favorite Beatles song. And so every time I hear, I say the chart in my head, I sing the chart, like the title of the song. I'm not going to do this here because I won't subject you to my singing voice, but I do love that song. And so I'm really excited. And I'm really excited to see what fabric I want to stitch it on. I don't know. I had to get floss from like 3 different shops because not everyone had all the floss. And then I did get the chart, and so I'm excited. But yeah, I mean, my chart already shipped. I love Needle Case Goodies too on Etsy. Really great. Becky ships everything super, super quick. And it's always packaged well and really nice. And Hollis Hands Creates is also my favorite shop too. But Needle Case Goodies too is the number 2. I just love it. It's a great shop. And then, yeah. So I'm going to show you what else I've been working on. So that is it for the starts, but I have been working on some of my older whips, except for from velvet to linen, because I can't put that down. So here's from velvet to linen. It's by Kathy Barrett. And if you watched my last video, or you haven't seen my last video, that's the one where I talk about, for the majority of it, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk that much about it, the color conversion I'm doing. And again, I didn't mean to do a total color conversion. It just happened that way when I thought the fabric I chose wasn't going to work for one of the colors, and so I was going to change one of the colors. And then I thought, I'll just do all new colors. So it was just, I kind of fell into it. But anyways, I'm doing this on 18 count Horseshoe Bay by Barefoot Needle Art. I love this fabric. Here's what I have so far. I got the bird in. I finally got the bird. I'm happy how he turned out. I thought he was going to be a little bit more bright, a little bit, but I like it. I don't mind it. So here he is, or it is. And I do have some new colors that I'm using since my last video. So for the bird, I'm doing two colors. They're both Cottage Garden threads. I'm doing Tea Rose is in the middle part of the bird. And then the outline is Latte. And then for this flower down here, this blue one, I got Roxy floss. I never used it before. I bought it. I've always thought the colors are beautiful. I finally bought some, and I just love it. It's so soft. It's just beautiful. The colors are gorgeous. So what I decided to do is I wanted to put some of the Roxy floss in there. And I'll show you which ones I'm using. Okay. Here's my mess of floss. So for that dark flower, I'm doing two Roxy flosses. This is the navy, and I think it's called Yonder. Yeah, me doing Yonder. And then this purple is Clever Clover. And then in there, I am also doing a pink. So the majority of the flower is that Clever Clover and then the blue. But then there's little spots of pink, which is Classic Colorworks. Blushing Beauty. There you go. So those are the colors that I am using for that flower. I did end up taking some of these off that I haven't used yet, and I'm like, I don't think I'll use these, because it was starting to get a little behemoth. It was like so big. So I tried to pare it down a little bit. But yeah, I love it. I think haven't decided yet what I want to do for the middle flower, the flower that was yellow. I did buy a very pale light yellow. I don't know if I'm going to use that, though. I'm going to have to think about it. I will keep the vase blue. And then also this flower, this pink one right here, that's a duplicate of the other pink one. I'm going to do the same and duplicate those colors. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever kind of what moves me at the moment, I guess. But it's very, very fun. I'm really enjoying this. Trying not to get my floss all caught up. There we go. Okay. So, I haven't shown this in a very long while. But, Tiny Modernist, the Bee Queen. I got to work on that some. And I'm really, really, really loving it. I say that about everything. And I know I say that every video too. I say that about everything. But it's true. Okay. Here's where I'm at. Queen Madeline Elizabeth. There she is. So I don't know. This dress is really fun to stitch. Oh, and I'm doing this on 18 count Carnival Cruise by Seraphim. And now I'm blanking. I can't remember. I'm from no, I told on Velvet from Linen. It's on 18 count Horseshoe Bay. I think I said that. Okay. Well, if I did, I'm sorry that I just repeated it. So this is 18 count Carnival Cruise. And what I'm trying to figure out for dress. Okay. So you'll notice on the chart, her dress has the darker yellow in the flowers. And I'm torn. Do I do this vintage violet, I think is what it is. I put in the middle here. Do I do that for the flowers? Or if I don't do that for the flowers, I want to do this light yellow because I really like that light yellow. Yes, you heard me say I really like that light yellow. So if you've seen my other videos, you know what I mean. So anyways, so I really like that pale yellow. And I'm trying to figure out, I don't know. Because see, the middle is the pale yellow. So, I don't know. If you have thoughts, please send them my way. Because I mean, obviously, the main thing is just stitch it and see what it looks like. And if you like it, keep going. If not, take it out. But I don't know, it changes every time I stitch this. Like one moment I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go with the vintage violets. Then another moment I'm like, no, I'm going to go with yellow. So I don't know. To me, okay, here's my thought process. The reason why I was thinking vintage violets is because then it ties the corset in. Because if you don't have vintage violets, if you only have it in the corset, it's like, where did that color come from? You know what I mean? I don't know. This is mainly just me talking things out right now. I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have any. Because now I'm leaning towards vintage violets. I don't know. We'll have to see. So let's see. So that's kind of one of my goals, is to start working on some of my older projects. As much as I want to keep starting everything, I also want to, you know, because once I finished the butterfly, I was like, it feels really good to finish something. I want to finish more stuff. So I've been trying to work on things that I'm closer to finishing. So, and then here. This one is, I've worked a little bit more on spring delivery. I just love this one so much. Here. my Plum Street samplers. And this is on 18 count Winter White by Seraphim. I got all of the flowers on the horse's bridle done. And then I got that second flower in there. And I've started the leaf. I just really love it. It's just such a happy stitch. All the colors. I'm doing all the called for colors except this horse. The called for color was balsam fir, and the one that I got did not have that much blue in it. So I decided to use Silver Fir by Cottage Garden Threads. And it was more truer, I feel like, to the model with the blue. Because that's, I think, one of the things I just loved about this was the blue horse. So I love it. I'm excited for it. I'm a little nervous about... So there are mock buttonhole stitches and then long stitches, but the long stitches don't continue around the flowers on the chart. It goes I think a quarter of them. And so you have to continue them in whatever fashion you want to continue them. I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to mess up, but I'm a little nervous for that, but I think I'll be okay. But I just love all the colors on this. It's just a really pretty chart. Okay. And then I have one more to show you. I got to work a little bit on In the Library by Mojo Stitches. There it is. And I don't know why, but when it's thundering and storming out, I really like working on this. I don't know. It's just a really nice, peaceful feeling. So, this is on 18 count Parliament by Forbidden Fiber Company. Here it is. So the model used one strand of floss to give it a more antique vintage looking. I'm doing 2 strands. So mine's a little bit more vibrant and brighter than the model. But this border is really, really, really detailed. So that's kind of why I've been taking my time with it. There's a lot of confetti stitches with the little leaves and stuff. So I've just kind of haven't really gone all the way down. But I've started the second bookcase. Second bookcase. And so what I'll do is, as I'm working on the bookcase, then I'll go back to the border and try to fill it in more, bring it down to the moth on either side. It's a moth, but to me it looks like a butterfly. Like, moths look like butterflies to me. Like, not in real life, because I clearly know the difference between a moth and a butterfly. But I don't know, cross stitch, I just always, to me, I call them all butterflies. I think it's because I love butterflies. But anyways, so I think I'll just kind of keep doing that, because what I don't want is the border to be the last thing to work on. So what I'll try to do is just kind of keep going as I'm going, and when I get down to the third bookcase, try to finish the border and then work more on the bookcase. So that's the last thing I work on. I don't know why the last thing I work on is so important to me. Like with the butterfly, I didn't want the border to be the last thing I worked on. I don't know why. It's just like I want it to be something enjoyable. Not that the border on either were enjoyable. It's just I love the butterfly more and I love the bookcases the most. So, yeah. But you guys, that's it. That's all I had. I hope you had fun today. If you have Netflix, you should check out this documentary called Where Did You Go, Greta Garbo? I think that's what it's called. It's so good. I never really knew much about Greta Garbo except that she was a recluse. And it shows a little bit, it kind of delves a little bit deeper into why she was the person she was. It was so hard. She had such a hard time, and Hollywood was not nice to her, which of course is not a surprise, but it's really, really good if you like old Hollywood. They have like, this isn't giving anything away, but they'll sometimes show this lady wearing a mask that's supposed to be like a Greta Garbo mask. It's like a paper mache mask. It takes a minute to get used to that, but I think the purpose of wearing the mask is trying to say, like, because she was not able to be herself to the world, so she was always wearing a mask and hiding behind Greta Garbo. So I think that's kind of what the purpose of that was, but it's really, really good. I realize I do not like Orson Welles. I mean, I never liked him, but now I don't like him. If you watch it and you see the clip, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, so that's really, really good. Yeah, and that's about it. That's all I got. I lead a very boring life. But if I could tell you of a good Netflix documentary, I will. So I hope you all have a really, really wonderful Memorial Day weekend. I hope you all get to relax and enjoy. I hope the weather's nice where you are. It's been rainy here a lot. It's finally sunny, but now, well, earlier it was sunny. Now it's starting to get a little gray in the sky, but hey, the temperatures are finally warming up, so that's nice. So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.